more fucking around. It's Wild Style Radio. Wild Style Radio.
Stand up and shout.
What is up? And welcome to the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show, coming to you live from Salisbury Center Studios in Manassas, Virginia, part of the Wild Style Network. What's up, my friend?
Good to see you. So, I got to ask, it just struck me. We're into our fourth year. I've never seen you with a Dunkin' cup.
I know.
They're not a sponsor, are they?
I got here so we needed something to do while I was watching U.S. hockey game that we just finished up. So,
Is it really Dunkin' coffee in that cup?
Cheers.
You sure?
Hey,
all right.
Only I know.
This is only water in mine. Uh-huh.
Sure, yeah. Or a teacher.
Exactly. See my halo.
So what's new?
Not much, man. So we were not on air last week on our regularly scheduled time because we were at a bitchin' show. The first one for us, at least, that kicked off 2026.
That's right. First of the year, and 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, I know, right?
Killer.
We have not really chatted since that show.
Nope.
So we can kind of chat about it now.
Sure.
I loved it.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
You know, having not seen them before, I know you have.
What? Really?
No, first time.
Dude, that was first Lollapalooza.
I know. I didn't go to the first. I only went to Lollapalooza 3.
Oh, my goodness.
I only went to the third one, which I would argue potentially rivaled that one.
Oh, I don't know. Number one was...
It's always tough to get over your first.
That was a whole different concert experience.
I mean, that one, Alice in Chains headlined.
Yeah.
Tool.
Right.
When I saw him in Charlotte that year, moved from the side stage to the main stage.
Yes.
And then were followed immediately by Rage Against the Machine.
You also had Fishbone at that
And
one.
Fishbone, yeah. And Tribe Called Quest.
Yes, that's right.
It was a great show.
That is a strong lineup.
Yeah, it was a good lineup.
Yeah.
Rivaled at the very least.
Yeah.
The first one.
That's when it blew up. That's when it got big. Was it the third
Yeah.
one? The first one.
The second one, really.
Yeah, that's true. The first one that I went to here in Northern Virginia didn't sell out. They had tickets
and it was at
available
Lake Fairfax Park.
Right. That's where it was so off of people's radar. So you could have got 9 Inch Nails tickets there.
Yeah.
Like that day of.
I don't even remember why I didn't go. I think I was still down at school. So
I think you're right.
I think I was taking summer classes.
It was about when school's about to start. So I remember I feel like I was late getting back because of that festival. Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
The
sacrifices we make.
No doubt. But I mean, so for the first time seeing them, I thought it was a great show. I loved the stage setup with the 2 stages.
Yeah.
And how they kind of bounced back and forth. So that was a little bit of a different experience.
Bit of an homage to a Salisbury Center local palooza because they do swapping stages. So there were 3 stages, right? So you had his DJ opener. Yeah. Oh man. But
Boys Noise.
Or
yes. Noise Boys.
Yes, right. Yeah. Wasn't there was a glam metal band called Noise
I think
Boys.
there was, yes.
Right? So there were the Noise Boys on the far end of the stadium, which moved into the center stage, which is when 9 Inch Nails started, and then to the main stage.
Right.
Yeah, it was slick.
Yeah, and I loved the lighting show and the projection with the sheer screen that surrounded the stage, which was cool when they were playing some of the older stuff, and it had the Trent with long hair, thrashing out with Trent now,
right?
Thrashing out.
I was about to say, he did not lose any energy.
No, it was great.
Not a spring chicken, but he still is acting like one. So God bless him.
Made me go back to watch Lala. The miniseries, just because.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to get that vibe because I know he huge part in that first episode,
right.
The whole thing about their equipment melting down, and so it's like,
I think I got lucky with mine because everything seemed to work when we saw them.
That was towards the end of the tour too, so they had worked out their kinks.
They did, thank God. I mean, that was like a 9 Inch Nails change. You know me, I became a fan immediately with Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah,
it goes well with if you're a Nintendo aficionado and you have the game Contra, you could rage with a little Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails. That's my album recommendation if you're playing Contra on Nintendo 1.
if you don't have the Nintendo hooked up to the Bose 901s.
Exactly. That might have happened on all accounts with Pretty Hate Machine.
But yeah, it's a great start because we've got quite a few great shows lined up coming up this year.
We have a busy May and June. Again, without M3, because you and I are not attending the M3 Rock Festival this year.
No. You have other obligations. I'm doing it in protest.
Okay.
Because it's only one night.
All right, that's true.
And it's
right.
It's very meh.
It dropped its fire. Which almost like our topic of tonight. Our topic of tonight is a throwback to the bands that are suited for M3.
Yep.
But I guess they just won't pay for them. The thing I hear.
Yeah.
I
guess it's all about the profit sometimes.
Exactly. All right, so we're throwing back for the first time in 2026. We did this about a year ago.
Yep.
With 2025, we threw back to 1985. We were preoccupied with 1985, but now in 2026, we're going to go to 1986. 40 years.
The
back.
40s.
Yeah. So fantastic albums. We're going with albums because we still love albums on the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show.
And I'm going to say it was hard.
These are like coming of age albums for us.
Absolutely. And there's a few that came out that obviously captured our attention a little bit later. But when I was looking through my list, it was very, very hard. And I have a whole list of honorable mentions that's twice as long as the actual 10.
I feel you on this.
10 and a half that's on my list.
I think, Kevin, what's going to happen on these lists, because you and I never talk about this, we are going to agree on a lot of the choices. They're just not going to be in the same. We're not going to agree on the order. That's my prediction when I was driving down here tonight. Right. I think a lot of my list is going to look like your list, but it's not going to be in the same order.
I think that might be the case, yes.
And then I put more of an emphasis, because we've talked about this and we've done Bottoms Up. By the way, so we stole the name Bottoms Up as like a caveat if you cared, to the show Bottoms Up that we worked at the Hayloft Dinner Theater, which was a Las Vegas burlesque show called Bottoms Up. And we're starting from the bottom, go to the top. I guess they kind of did the same thing in a burlesque kind of way. That was 1986. So the namesake of this segment comes from the Hayloft Dinner Theater, where we were busboys at the time in this great day and era of our lives.
And it was. It's like, as I'm putting my list together, I'm just thinking of, I think this was really, and it had started a couple of years prior, but this was for rock and metal. This is when metal hit the MTV stage.
This is the era of glam metal for sure.
Absolutely.
Glam metal at its peak.
And thrash kicking in.
And thrash starts to rage against it.
Yeah. But the amount of classic videos that are associated with most of the songs on the albums that I have on my list, it's like, oh, I remember it.
Yeah.
So
I went with more of an impact of now, though, right? As opposed to then, right? And then was Decline of Western Civilization, did that come out? That great movie, Part 2, Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, that come out in 1986?
I think it's a little bit later. 87-ish, yeah.
Faster Pussycat's featured in that movie, and that album did not come out until 87.
Yep. And that album was pretty fresh when that movie came out.
Yes, yeah. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
That to me, they're very heavily featured as a rising band in that movie. So yeah, okay. All right, here we go. All right, so wait a minute. So John, do you have the title slide? You have my title slide? Because I did this last year and I did this intentionally this year, where I started out with movies, even though we're the Stand Up and Shout Rock Show. Right, I made a little homage to movies there. So there's Aliens, came out in 1986. Did you ever see Manhunter? I've heard of Manhunter, but I've never watched Manhunter. But then, of course, there's the immortal Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell. He was a beast in that movie. The infamous David Lynch film Blue Velvet came out in 1986.
Awesome.
We watched a shit ton of that. The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, that kind of brought him to prominence as Grundlefly in that movie.
Yep.
And then Platoon, heartfelt for me because it features the great Corey Glover as an actor prior to his career as the frontman of Living Colour. He actually acts with Charlie Sheen in that movie. So shout out to you, Corey Glover, whenever I can get one in there.
Well, and I kind of did the same
you
on
went
my
with
title
movies?
slide.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You really?
So much like our list,
all right.
there's a couple repeats
I see that. I see.
and some different ones.
Uh-huh.
But I did it a little more. I went on the cheater way. I found a collage of movies from 1986.
I didn't make my collage.
So yeah, Ferris Bueller,
Scored mine too.
Crocodile Dundee, again Platoon, Back to School. I think that's Cobra.
I remember that movie.
Star Trek movie,
Yeah,
which
I
never was
remember-
too much into that. And
Yeah,
I got
I remember
Aliens
that.
and then
Forgot about
obviously
that movie.
Top Gun.
Right.
I'm a sucker for anything Dangerfield. But when I saw that, I was wondering, what year was Porky's? Was that in the 80s?
Oh, that was earlier.
I think it was.
was
Yeah, I was
it?
gonna
It was
say
in the 80s, but
84.
it was
83 or 84, if I had to guess.
yeah.
That was way ahead of its time.
yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And used cars with
That's
Kurt
right.
Russell.
Yes.
That was a classic too.
John, that's funny you brought up Porky's.
Dude, look, back in the day, you didn't have porn as you
Right,
now,
exactly.
So, like, you had to steal either your parents'
Right.
catalogs or
Right.
find movies like Porky's to watch.
And Porky's featured full frontal bottom,
yes.
right? That which was extremely rare at that time.
I'll stand on this. Kids these days will not understand the struggle.
The
of trying
prize.
to time it to a snowy.
Absolutely. Right, absolutely. Dial that cable down. No sound, but you got the black and white picture, this black and white snowy picture to unscramble that signal. Yep. It worked. There was at one point, John, where I was living in Western Maryland. Like this is 82, 83, 84, around that time. And for whatever reason, they decided to simulcast HBO over the radio. So, and I can't remember what radio station did this. And they,
Real sex that came on?
so what you could get then, so like I had, like that dial down tuning TV. So you could either get the picture, you can get the sound, but now you got both. Because you could tune in the radio station and then boom, you got the whole shebang. That was amazing.
And I guess they were in sync.
Kinda, not really great. It was,
So the first Porky's was 1981.
Oh, it was even earlier than 83.
And then I'm looking up because there was that and there was Porky's Revenge.
Yes. It wasn't as good.
There's Porky's, so there's three. There's Porky's 2 the next day. That came in 83.
That's right. Right.
And Porky's Revenge came in 85.
Okay. All right.
Never saw anything but the original.
Yeah, I started to watch 2, and it didn't have the magic. It didn't have the full frontal bottom.
Was the first one the one that had the boat, or was that
Yes.
Revenge?
Yeah,
Okay.
the first one had the boat. How about then, John, in that catalog, since we're going down that road, Revenge of the Nerds, the original Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
Good. I never was like a crazy Revenge of the Nerds fan.
Okay.
But I mean, I did.
But you had the same like options for the movie that you were looking for in Porky's.
Really?
Yes.
I would not put two and two together.
Yeah.
There was growing up. There was my parents had a Beta player.
Yeah, I had Beta.
The only kind of movies that were always in the realm of the beta player was Police Academy.
Yep.
1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
Porky's, and I'm drawing a blank for the third one. But yeah, those were
Hard Bodies. How about that one? I got that one on Errol's video store on Beta.
Oh, good old Errol. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep. All
Did
right.
you brave to go? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
it's a Tribe Called Jess. Did you brave to go through the bean, the bean like little drapes they had to get to the adult section, or did you just like kind of?
I may have done that once or twice, but I felt like I was running in and running out, right? And I was sweating the whole time. I couldn't enjoy the experience. It was just too risky to be back behind that curtain.
Yep.
And you had to have a team, right? Like you couldn't do that alone. Like, I braved that with like 2 or 3 other, it might've been you, Kevin. Like we might've run back there, shouted out a couple titles, laughed, and then ran back out. That's about as good as we can get. All right.
And back to your originally scheduled.
I know. Hey, that was fun.
Well, speaking of
86,
movies,
we're going to 86.
Yep.
That's the tone of 86, John. I'm glad you brought it all up.
so I'll kick it off.
Kevin's fired up.
Yeah, I mean we'll continue this movie theme because my first album, Trick or Treat.
Oh, okay. So we've talked about like, what did you do here? Did you push on a tie?
So this is most of my list is going to be then and now.
Oh, okay. You went with it then and now.
So obviously, Bad Brains came released in '86. Eye Against
it
Eye.
It came into our lives. We started
A
listening
little
to
bit
Bad Rays
later.
around the same time.
So-
Exactly. Yes, I'm with you.
So from my list, Trick or Treat, 86,
Sure.
all over it.
Right.
Saw the movie. Obviously, Fastway was pretty, I won't say huge, but they had a good following. And they did this entire soundtrack, which is just phenomenal. I think
Hit
it's
You
an
After
entirely
Midnight.
I think it's an entirely underrated album.
And movie.
And
Since- Since you're there with the movie. So
Yeah.
and this has come up on our Halloween shows.
Right.
And
Yep.
it's come up on our movie soundtrack shows, both. I'm glad you keep hitting on this album. It just reinforces how great of an album is. Or just even like a few songs if you're a song singles kind of
Yeah, I
person.
mean, the first 3 songs are phenomenal. The title track, After Midnight, Don't Stop the Fight. But it's a good listen all the way through. It's
Absolutely.
it's great stuff.
Right.
And then the Bad Brains obviously came down later. So
All right.
when we were in school, I think
Yep.
started getting into them. But
Right.
an homage to, I would put them in that as a list of now bands.
I love it. I'm going to start with an apology to Pete Evick. That's kicking my number 10 off. John's going to throw it up there. So my apology to Pete Evick goes to Van Halen's 5150 is number 10 on my list. It is. John says that it is. It's coming up with the Atlas album cover.
It is not going to the slide for some reason.
Oh, man, the
Give me a
damn
second. I'm trying to
art
get it.
department. Art department's always a wrinkle. Stand Up and Shout Rock show. No, so like 5150.
There it is.
We've talked about this, and we've had a lot of social media about this. You and I tend to agree that David Lee Roth in that era and the first 6 albums are of the classic era of Van Halen is prime Van Halen. I think this is probably my favorite Sammy Hagar, probably, arguably Van Halen album. But I also remember, like, in a then and now kind of way, I missed the fire, from 1984 and from the first Van Halen album, because those are the 2 of those classic era albums that I listened to first. There was some juice here for sure. And like you said, Kevin, there's a lot of honorable mentions. So I'm absolutely with you there in terms of honorable mentions. But 5150 beat those honorable mentions enough, right? Like, so I can get it there at number 10. Even from this year in 1986, I was missing David Lee Roth, and I've missed him ever since, right? So you never got that back, but it was a fantastic album that I still listen to.
I agree. It's not on my list at
Oh,
all.
wow.
And,
Stunning. That's a
so-
stunner. You revealed that already.
Yeah, so-
No suspense with that.
Yeah.
A double apology to Pete Evick.
Double. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great album, great Sammy album. I'd say that. No You 812, I think were obviously the first 2 with him. But 86 was also the year of the first full David Lee Roth release too.
Right, exactly.
And that's not on my list either.
Okay, wow.
So
So I feel like that song Good Enough. I hear David Lee Roth, which is the opening track of the 5150 album. I hear David Lee Roth singing that song. Like, to this day, like, that feels like a Roth song.
right.
Like in your, Dave Mustaine and Metallica kind of way. Like, who really wrote that song? How much input is in? It just feels like a classic Van Halen tune.
And maybe it was an older tune that kind of carried over
Right. I don't know. I can't verify that. I mean, maybe Pete could. Either way.
Right.
Well, there you go, Pete. I got you on the board. I very at least did that, so it's not, complete loss. All right, you want me to go to number 9?
Why not?
All right. So my number 9, I don't even know if this is like fair for a Stand Up and Shout Rock show. I definitely thought of the boss, Lou, who's not here, with my number 9 selection. There's Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Is that a soft call, Kevin? Like, I heard that question coming out of my mouth when I made this choice. I wrestled with this choice a lot, as you're saying with your honorable mentions. But I wrestled with it because of that, because there's so much other great hard rock and metal albums of that era. And this could be considered pop, I guess. Definitely pop hard rock. But man, it slams. I mean, every song on this is classic now that how many times do you hear Living on a Prayer in a Stadium?
Right.
This day and age, 40 years later.
Well, I'm certainly not going to dispute that because it is actually much higher on my list.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised at that.
And the primary reason
I was going
is
to get my balls busted about this show.
I mean, obviously, I liked 700-800 degrees Fahrenheit, a little bit more.
I do
from
too.
a Bon Jovi standpoint.
It's
and
an underrated album.
Yep.
Like we can get into Bon Jovi bottoms up like pretty quickly, but like because a lot of people do not like that album, and I don't get it.
right,
It's a
and the
great album.
first album.
Yeah,
But you cannot argue with what that album did in this era. Like we talked about, this is the coming of age of hair metal.
Yeah.
But the MTV and the rock bands that came through on that, and they had massive hits off of that album. So I would say they kind of started the carrying of the torch in this year, and that album is the one that did it. And so that's why, from my point of view, I have it way up on my list.
Kevin, we like the look. I mean, you're bringing up the look in the MTV era. There's no doubt about it. I layered my hair. I highlighted my hair like it was Bon Jovi-esque, in and around that time. So even like bigger diehard metalheads started to adopt that, that style that really he popularized, that John Bon Jovi popularized.
Right.
So yeah. So I had it on my list. That makes me feel better. You had it on yours because I thought I was going to take a beating over that choice.
I'll cut you some slack there.
All right.
So my number 9.
Number 9.
Speaking of a Bon Jovi tie-in,
Okay.
That's actually number 8. But
Spoiler. Spoiler.
I had Night Songs.
Excellent. Yes.
So
yeah. Right.
Bon Jovi broke these guys.
Right.
And this was their debut album.
Right.
Again, great videos that came out of this album.
Right.
Shake Me, Nobody's Fool, Somebody Save Me, which Bon Jovi actually had the cameo in.
Sure.
Richie and John.
Yeah.
And then another tune I love off of that album is Push Push. I mean, this is like, from my, granted, what, we were in 10th grade ish. And this was like classic. Throw the record in or throw the cassette in, and you're listening to the whole thing. You're flipping it over. You're listening to the whole thing, and then you're doing it again.
Right.
And all of these albums, it takes me back to that time where, headphones on, boombox, whatever, in the car.
Right.
Even though we were driving a little bit later. But,
right.
But, this was classic stuff.
Sure. So, like, John, you can leave that up. So, like, because that's my number 8. So we're close on this one.
All right.
And we don't talk about Cinderella really a lot
Not
on this show. Not enough. And, like, we talk about the look again, and there's certainly the album cover and the look of these guys, which is embracing that slippery when wet, like, looking.
Yep.
I've always felt that the sound of Cinderella never has matched this look. Like, it doesn't look right on them, because this is a great, like, bluesy hard rock album. Like, all those songs that you just rattled off don't sound like a lot of glam metal.
Sure.
But they certainly had that glam metal look, and they capitalized on it, and good for them.
Yeah, and Long Cold Winter took it another step in that direction.
Exactly. And that's, as that's another potentially bottoms up topic and debate, like, what is the better Cinderella album? But this would be easily in the 1-2 slot for me.
Sure.
Right. And as their debut album on top of it. Tom Kiefer, who's headlining M3, still to me plays great live shows.
Yeah. Awesome. 2 years ago when we saw him.
Yep, exactly. So, like, that's not anything to miss. So if you are going to M3 and you want to at least see the Tom Kiefer band, you're going to see like a great show featuring songs from Night Songs.
Well, and maybe a little bit more heavily than the previous time, where I think he just hit a couple of them off of this album, with it being the 40th anniversary of this release.
Right. So, you notice, though, I tied my 8 and 9 together because you're bringing that Bon Jovi, Discovery and New Jersey connection between Cinderella and Bon Jovi. And I rank this album a little bit higher than Slippery When Wet, even though that, he's the Discovery. But that's really, I have to say, obviously, Slippery When Wet was much bigger success than Night Songs. Although they're playing Shake Me in commercials a lot now. I remember, is it Geico?
I don't remember. Yeah. I remember hearing, but we're seeing a lot of that. Some of the the classic stuff, like Coldwell Banker had Home Sweet Home.
Right, exactly.
I was
exactly.
Okay.
But just my personal taste, the harder edge to this album appeals to me more. And that harder blues, kind of homage that's,
sure.
in a lot of these songs appeal to me more. So, but they are linked together for a reason. My list. I jumped ahead of you. What do you kind of showed your 8.
I did.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back up. There it is. Look what the Cat dragged in, their debut.
Uh-huh.
Again,
You remember, so like in the 80s, oh, jump back there, John. You got to bring that album cover back up, because in the 80s, you did not have the internet to like affirm. I remember being in record stores and picking up the actual album so you could see a bigger picture of the cover, like to talk about, are these chicks or not? Because the makeup is so like androgynous, on the album cover. And I remember having those conversations with my teenage friends. All right, John's holding up a Age of Ruin. Oh, Jeff Salisbury got a Age of Ruin LP
on vinyl.
On vinyl. Yeah, nice. So yeah, do you think this is like kind of their hardest album? Their most metal album, if you wanted to call Poison metal, whatever metal is there for Poison?
Probably my favorite of their albums.
Yeah, me too. I agree with that.
I guess from the glam metal perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
Open up and say,
right
behind it, but
it kind of refined a more of a pop sound like in later albums to me.
I would agree.
Yeah. And it feels like very Sunset Strip. Look what the cat dragged in. You feel like you're down like in the middle of everything that's happening there. The Rainbow and Gazaris.
Right.
Gazaris, I guess, isn't around anymore, but the whiskey and which was there in the 80s, Gazaris. So all of that good stuff. All right, you want to keep going, Kevin? Let's see what John throws up. See if it's your 7 or my 7.
That would be my 7.
That would be your 7 for sure.
So this was the year for me where thrash took over. And it will certainly show a little bit later in the list. But, Slayer's second release, Rain and Blood, this is where I think the big four affirmed themselves.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And particularly this year, there were just 3 legit classic albums from 3 of the big four. And of all the Slayer albums, this one and South of Heaven are probably my 2 favorite.
Sure.
But
Rain and Blood is classic, right? I mean, that is like a part of the big four canon of thrash metal.
Correct.
That like set the tone for what thrash metal is.
Yeah. And obviously, in later years, those that were playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
You had Raining Blood.
Right.
Off of this album.
And then was it there? I think there's a version of Guitar Hero with South of Heaven.
There might be.
Yeah.
I know the version Jake and Riley were playing when they were younger had this on it. So,
of course. All right, of course. All right, so we are going to have some disagreeing lists. I'm surprised by this because there's so much. I think you've thrown up a couple of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
All right, John, what do we got next? I like this. Okay, there's my number 7. So you do not have this, which I'm stunned.
Yeah. Because
this is a super group as far as I'm concerned.
It is a super group.
And that was David Lee Roth's Eat 'Em and Smile. If you didn't see the graphic, but David Lee Roth's Eat 'Em and Smile, just a solid debut solo album from the man himself. Yankee Rose. You just go there, and the video for Yankee Rose.
Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut.
Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan, like on the strings, like wailing back and forth. Hot dog and a shake.
Well, it was, it's what he said. He's like, we had a great band. Now I'm going to make a greater band.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he had to go out and try and prove that. And he found talent for
Absolutely.
sure. And yeah. There's just so much good stuff in this year that.
And I purposefully, I will listen to this even so more now, right, than going back in the Van Halen war that blew up this year between David Lee Roth and the old Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. Obviously, 5150 sold better. There were a lot more people listening to that than Eat 'Em and Smile, but I will listen to Eat 'Em and Smile much more readily to this day over 5150. It was like that then, and it's still like that now. So I do have that drop down to number 6 on my list, as opposed to being even right behind 5150 at number 9. It's appropriate that we have David Lee Roth at either 6 or 9. Would appreciate that. Welcome, Dave. All right, what's John going to throw at us next? In a pattern. This is you, Kevin.
Yeah, this it looks like it's.
Are you doing a count? Are you counting?
I'm trying to figure out where I'm at on my list, but yeah, this is definitely. Yep.
You at number 6?
I'm not.
Yep.
Yeah. So
right.
Number 6. And I'm so stoked that they're going on tour this summer, opening for Motley Crue.
Of course.
Because this was, I listened to
Tesla's
this.
Mechanical Resonance.
Yep. Their debut, good stuff.
And let me say this. This is where I first heard Tesla, right?
Yes.
It's not the car, right? Like I think the young pups these days, if you said Tesla, that's a car label. But no, 40 years ago, it was a band. And then you would look up and say...
And then they're like, why are they called Tesla?
Exactly. What the hell does that mean?
And we couldn't go to the Google machine.
Right.
So you had to actually go to an encyclopedia.
We did. We had to look this. We had to like do work to look that shit up to see who Nikolai Tesla was. But then like they wrote this in their album liner notes. Right. Like the story of the underdog and underrated Nikolai Tesla, and underappreciated, right?
Who had the patent stolen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But this was, again, just another great album. We probably could do a bottoms up on debut albums.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like it.
But, for their debut, this is cover to cover. It's just phenomenal stuff.
I have thoughts on that immediately.
Yeah.
but we got to do homework to make sure I don't miss anything.
And it was, 12 tunes. You don't necessarily always get 12 tunes on an album release now, but every single one of them was solid.
Yeah.
And it was all great live.
Right.
And, when we got to see them, I think the first time I saw them opening for Def Leppard.
Which that tour went on for like 3 years. That was insane how many times we saw them opening for Def Leppard.
Right.
Yeah.
It was great. Right. And then, when their second album came out and we actually saw them as a headliner, they continued to grow and grow and grow. And so I'm looking forward to seeing them again. It's been a few years. Actually, the last time was opening for Def Leppard.
Okay. That's right.
At Jiffy Lube.
That was a night.
Part of the show, I remember.
Exactly, yeah.
But it was quite the night. But I mean, Easy Come, Easy Go, Coming at You Live, Getting Better, Modern Day Cowboy. Everything off of this album is phenomenal.
Sure. Yeah, hey, you got
and I think it's very, very underrated, and they're underrated as a band.
I've always said that. And I will even say that about even like a little bit more deeply. Jeff Keith as a singer, I think, is an underrated frontman and a great singer, fantastic singer. I always like seeing him, and he's never missed a step, and curious to see him too, as to how like he is holding up, as a singer over the years, which I think is I got high hopes for it. Social media's gotten a little weird lately, He's definitely got some strong veneers, but
hopefully it gives him more range, like Freddie Mercury said in the Queen movie.
I love it. All right, John. Here's my is this my number 6, number 5, and number 6. So I don't know how you feel about this. I'm curious as where this is, because I love this Ozzy album, and I loved it then, and I love it now. And it kind of gets lost to me in the pile. It gets lost in the mix of great Ozzy albums that are out there. So this is The Ultimate Sin, Ozzy Osbourne, last album that Jakey Lee was on. I feel like represented extremely well on this album and played very well. And in some ways, I think he's got more recognition for Bark in the Moon than this album. Bark at the Moon, excuse me, not Bark in the Moon. But like I like, not that it's overlooked even now, because with Lizzie Hale doing this at the Back to the Beginning Festival last year, there's some people I think that have also loved this album that has given it more exposure more recently, and it has gotten more recognition. So I don't think I'm alone in necessarily bringing this up. I do think it's even worth being deeper in my list than even like David Lee Roth's Eat 'Em and Smile, Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet, or Van Halen's 5150. It's just a great listen, and the title track is just still a beast of an anthemic Ozzy song. And I would recommend going back to, if you're looking for that one tune, go with the title track, and that'll be the hook that'll make you fall in love with the rest of it. Yeah, I actually have it one higher on my list. Okay. So I agree. It's a phenomenal record. This is another one when I'm thinking back on it. The videos that were done for this album specifically were just great. Shot in the Dark. Yes. There't also the great anti-war song, Thank God for the Bomb. Yes, right. So, Nukia. So this is what's funny about that, though, about those videos. Now that you're bringing up the Image, and the Image in 1986, we keep going back to. This is when Ozzy did try to look a little like John Bon Jovi. Remember, he had the layer, highlighted hair. And so, like, I've seen that. I think maybe it was on Jack and Ozzy's World Tour, like one of the documentary style shows. Ozzy just losing his mind, like overseeing some of these videos. He just wouldn't even watch them. He just refused to look at himself looking like that. Which
Well,
is
and
pretty funny.
the long robes and
right, yeah.
Which was also on the front edge of Decline of Western Civilization when Ozzy's just completely out of his mind
Making breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still has kind of that poofy hairstyle.
Sure. Yep.
So.
Yep. The layers.
Yep.
All righty. Thank you, John. Next.
That's my number 5.
That's a strong 5.
Yep.
That's a good 5, Kevin. It's weird. Iron Maiden Somewhere in Time is just what came up. This album to me, like, has a very, like, a rich, thick Maiden sound. It's like drinking a dark beer in winter. You know what I mean? And it feels right, like in that sense, like a cold, thick, heavy night. Right. You know? Well,
and I'm we're gonna see them in August. Mm-hmm. August or September?
September 11th.
And I'm happy because the last several times we've seen them, they haven't really played anything off of this.
No.
And then obviously Wasted Years is the big video and hit off of that album, which is a phenomenal song. So I'm dying to see it live. I understand there's going to be a little bit more emphasis off stuff from this album because it's everything from the beginning up to Fear of the Dark.
Okay.
So I've heard, they're going to be pulling a couple of tunes from this album.
Excellent.
Which will be great to see live.
Sure.
Because
we did go see them live back in 1986. I remember seeing that show with Yngwie Malmsteen opening. I remember that. That was a kind of a classic.
Which was another, his trilogy album was also released in 86.
Oh, that's true. Is that on your honorable mention list?
It is on the honorable mention list.
Is it really?
List,
Look at you. You caught that one.
Yeah.
Very nice, Kevin. Good work.
Yeah, but Stranger in a Strange Land.
Of course.
It's another great tune.
Yeah.
Heaven Can Wait.
Right. And it's almost a little bit like The Ultimate Sin because maybe you think it was because of the popularity of glam and even the rise of thrash that some of these, first wave of British metal acts like Ozzy Osbourne and Iron Maiden kind of got brushed to the side to some degree. Like, right? We were still there. We were still seeing their shows or releasing. But these albums weren't as featured in the time as those other albums, or maybe recognized by record companies as a newer metal sound was emerging.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly classic Maiden. So
Right. All right, so I'm going to break your heart with this one. All right, so my number 5, John. Peace Sells, But Who's Buying by Megadeth.
All good.
I know, right? Would you ever have a Megadeth album lower than 3? I think it's more of the question.
Sure.
Okay. Oh my gosh! Why did the album title just like blank out of my head?
Risk.
Yeah, that was it. Yes, I was gonna say. I wanted to say Reload, which was Metallica.
Super Collider.
Really? Super Collider didn't bother me. Yeah. All right. I saw that tour. It was a good tour. Yeah. But all right. So this is iconic, right? With of course, the title track and made the MTV News sound logo, right?
For years.
The bass line was just like, right. And so I think a lot of people didn't know that they were listening to Megadeth when MTV News was kicking on, but that's what you were hearing.
Yeah, they couldn't use Shazam back then.
Right, exactly.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. And then it kind of went da-da-da-da-da-down, bow, 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 bow. Like then the news items would come up. Would you like that scat version of MTV News recreation I just did there, John?
I did. I'm trying to be fast and look up the original song for you.
Oh, okay. But I love that song, but I really got to go to Wake Up Dead.
Yep.
That's a beast of a song and a great video.
The Conjuring.
Yeah, exactly. The Conjuring.
Black Friday.
Sure. I mean, yeah. An emergence of I think what you said earlier, hits the nail on that head. Like an emergence of thrash classics came out all this year. This is my first one. This is the first one that I have up.
So it won't shock you where it is on my list.
I was 100% sure, actually, because I think I have ideas for your top 3.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Oh, John, look, you have an MTV News.
You hear it. first.
That's it. That's it. That's a more brief kind of intro.
MTV News. You hear it first.
And that'd be
It almost kind of edited it like the music video for Peace Cells as well.
Yeah. I
The
wonder,
fast clips.
I wonder, like, I wonder who thought of that. Like, especially in '86, that I'm going to take a bass line out of a Megadeth song and make that. Maybe it was like less copyright issues because it was.
Maybe it was Ricky Rackman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when did like hip hop sampling become really big? That was in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of where that sample started. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's
it
true.
jumped it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to. I mean, that's a great story. I'd love to know. I don't know. Anybody out there that happens to listen to this wants to throw that in there.
That'll be next year because Walk This Way.
True.
87, I think.
Very true. Yeah. Might have been. I can't remember if it was 86 or 87. Aerosmith Run DMC.
I think it's 87.
All right.
So Kevin, are you gonna? I know you already mentioned your Ozzy. Do you want to skip that?
You can, yeah, that's Ozzy.
Throw it up there. We can throw up Ozzy just to give Kevin his chance to describe his love of the ultimate sin.
Well, and look at the album, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, we miss that these days.
All right.
Well, I'm getting back into vinyl, so
know. Yeah, you are.
that's the best part. Is
very impressive, Kevin.
album artwork, you know, and even there's the mushroom cloud in the far background.
Mhm.
So
Thank
and-
God for the bomb.
yeah, kind of getting a little
Get
bit
back
of
to it.
what's on the album,
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
and
And that,
Shot in the Dark.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So, and this is your Kevin.
This is
your
my number 3.
number 3. You're at 3?
Yep. I believe I am.
Yeah. Okay. I'm at number 4. I'm counting.
Definitely my number 3.
Okay. Definitely your number 3.
Yeah, I had
like how you.
Ultimate Sin number 4.
I knew that if you put this up there, you were going to do what you did, which is put the original album artwork with the original Slippery When Wet cover, which there are limited releases of. So if you're owner of this album, you're a.
Give me a call.
I was going to say you're into a collector's item there, not the because remember they were the story behind it because I threw up the cover that followed that went into mass
Right.
production. They were pissed that they couldn't do this cover.
Right, because they banned it.
Right, so they just took a
It's too sexist
yes it
in
was-
1986.
That was too sexist for
or
1986.
too risque, not
Yes.
sexist. But
Would that be too risque for a Tribe Called Jess? I almost said Quest. Tribe Called Jess, John.
No.
it's a little too conservative. So
Love it.
my daughter is big into antiquing and goes to a lot of antique shops. So she calls me whenever she's there and they have vinyl. And so she called me a couple weeks ago. She's like, they have an original release of Slippery When Wet. Like, how much? She's like, $85. I'm like, really? Like, what's on the cover? It was not this cover.
No, it
I'm
was
like, so no, it's not the original release.
And that was a garbage bag with water on it, right?
Right.
They did in protest. They just wrote the word Slippery When
Yeah.
Wet, took a picture, and then boom, that became the album cover.
And WUVT had this in the album racks
Really?
with the original cover.
Wow.
And had it not had
WVT
WVT written across it,
yeah.
that would have been in my trunk on the way home when I left school. But
I don't know if you've done it before, but maybe another one of these bottoms up kind of segments is album covers that got pulled and then like what they got switched with.
Another great idea.
Because I remember like my dad had like the Sgt. Pepper one.
Yeah.
Where was that the one with the butcher babies? There was one that had a bunch of like little baby dolls ripped to pieces and a bunch of like meat all over them.
I remember. I don't think.
And
I'm
it
not
got
sure if that
pulled,
was
like,
started.
after a few. It wasn't Peppers. You're right.
Yeah.
But it got pulled after a few hours, so he has like the original vinyl of that.
Nice.
So, yeah.
like every death metal album
I was
now.
about to say that, right? Right. Cannibal Corpse, here we come. Like, right, we're going to jump right into that one.
Yep.
All right, my number 4 is not on your list, and it is definitely more of a now than then because I have to give out shout. I always give out shout to Fishbone.
Yep.
Love them as a band. This is their debut album, In Your Face. Doesn't have, to me, as much of a heavier, harder rock edge as their later albums as they progress like over their career. I wouldn't necessarily call it a pop sound either, and it was derivative from ska for sure.
Sure.
But I wouldn't call it a ska album either. So this Was actually my first exposure to Fishbone before Truth and Soul. Before Truth and Soul came out, I believe I was 89 that came out. But it was the song "Knock It." I remember, put your hammer to the wall and knock it. And I was, messing around with one band, and they threw that my way, and then the rest was history. I was in love from Fishbone from that point on. So, good, solid debut album from these boys, and it's a little bit of like what you're saying, Kevin. It's glam metal at its peak, but there are other forces coming into being, and that is where alt rock is really kind of starting to brew up, and you see some alt rock big names brewing in 87, 88, 89, and that really kind of taking over. So, the Smells Like Teen Spirit revolution of 1991 wasn't necessarily so surprising, like if you were paying attention to bands like this at the time.
Or Bad Brains that influenced Chili Peppers and Jane's Addiction.
Yep, absolutely. So, had to give love to Fishbone. Is that even on your honorable mention list? All right, there we go. Then we got a disagreeing album. Actually, is that my number? That's my number. Oh, yes, my number 4. Make sure.
All right. That would take you to number 3 then.
John, throw out my number 3, which is, that's agreeable to you. I just have this higher up. So, like, kind of thinking of, that's already done that one. John, we're looking for Mechanical Resonance by Tesla, like getting back to that one. And so I think, Kevin, this is like where I wrestled with this. And I think that we probably talked about it like back in the day. Is Tesla a glam metal band, first of all? And if they are, that's where I kind of have this highest on the list. Is probably the best glam metal album that I personally would really kind of ascribe to for 1986. I have this as my highest because the rest that's following this are not glam metal.
I don't know that I would classify them as glam metal.
Right.
They're
never had
rock.
the look. They never had the look. They were jeans and t-shirt guys.
Yeah.
And they prided themselves on that with this album, Mechanical Resonance. So almost like getting back to what we were talking about Cinderella. Cinderella could have had their look, and it would have matched or melded a little bit better, right? Like and eventually they did adopt that kind of look and drop
right. Whereas like the other band from Philly that came a little bit later, Britney Fox, had that look and that sound,
right?
But no, I would say I would never call Tesla glam.
Yeah,
I think they get lumped into it.
Exactly, they certainly did. So like. And that's also like another, I was kind of like, I'll let you roll with this, and I think you did a really good job describing how great this album is. One of the things that I would just shut up and, just as an add-on to everything that you said, I think this album has a great live feel. And you have the song, you mentioned it, Coming at You Live.
Right.
Easy Come, Easy Go to me has a live feel to it. And I think that I always hear that that's a big piece of production, an album production, is trying to capture the live sound and reproducing in the studio what bands do live, at least for rock and roll. And I feel like that happened in this album.
Right.
When we went and saw Tesla, it felt like not that we were looking to hear what we heard in the studio, just this had a live feel and it had a lot of energy to it, and then so did the band, and it just matched and married itself together very nicely.
Well, I think it's similar to what Guns N' Roses was.
Yeah,
with their first album.
Yes, yeah.
They took it to a whole different level after that, but what you heard on the record is what you were going to see live, and that's who they were.
Right.
So
Tesla at their peak, I mean, their first 2 albums, that's another debate for another time, like which is the better between this and the Great Radio Controversy. But both of them have that feel and just solid songs all the way through. Not a bad song on these albums. So that could be another thing. Albums that do not have a bad song on them, I would easily put this album out there with another 9.
Right.
Yeah. All right, cool.
So, number 2 for me.
All right, number 2 for you. Okay, I was wondering where you would land on this. All right. All right.
And that's my number 1.
This is, wait. Okay, wait. Let me go.
This thing keeps going into auto. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay, because, I mean, this is like the kind of the zhuzh of Kevin here. Like, what is he going to pull between the classic question we've asked a million people on this show, Megadeth or Metallica, peak albums for both of these bands, Master of Puppets for Metallica, Peace Sells of Who's Buying from Megadeth, and what was your order?
So Peace Sells is number 2.
What? I'm stunned. one.
I won't even say, even though this was the entry drug. So both of these albums were the first of each band that I ever earned, ever owned, listened to, whatever.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's the best Megadeth album.
I agree. Okay, but in the top 3? We did a bottoms
It's
up
in,
for
the, it's
Megadeth.
in the top 2.
I feel like,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, you had this in your top 3. and I
But
couldn't
Master
remember.
Puppets is the best Metallica album.
Yeah.
So I can firmly say
What would you match against Master Puppets from Megadeth as the thrash album?
Holy Wars.
Okay. Yeah. Rust in Peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. That's
the best Megadeth album.
I remember you having that as your number 1.
Yes.
I pissed you off then because I had So Far So Good So What. I still love that album. I still remember Mike Horn was in here all pissed off about that.
Right.
Like I even had that album. He thought it sucked. It doesn't suck. It's a great album.
Good album. It's just too short.
It is a short album.
It's like they're like the record company or whatever said, you got to get something
it's
out.
Like, it's 8 songs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
it's not 8
It's
thrash.
barely an EP.
Right. It's not even like 8 classic thrash songs that are like 7 to 8 minutes long. They're all like 3 to 4 minutes long. Right.
But both albums, so cover to cover, just great
This
music.
is stunning. We got this recorded. There's reels being cut. We're gonna put Kevin Birch out there as like listing a Metallica album over a Megadeth album. I want to make that clear. But it is Master of Puppets.
It is Master of Puppets.
It's 1986.
If it was Kill 'Em All or
Right.
Ride the Lightning,
And I knew you in 1986, and I definitely know, like, if we do a then and now, like, comparison, you had fallen in love with Metallica before you fell in love with Megadeth.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, you would never do this now because I brought this up before. You were the editor on our school newspaper. You were highly involved with our school newspaper, and I just flirted with it, right? So, but you handed me So Far So Good, So What to review, which I can't believe that you would ever do in this day and age. Like, give me a Megadeth review.
Yeah. You asked to write it, so
I did ask to write it, but
I let you write it.
I remember that stunned a lot of people because I gave it a really good review, and it was Megadeth and thrash at the time, so that was kind of a very fringe kind of music that was going out in the school newspaper. What? Exactly, like Jeff Sisk wrote a glowing review of a Megadeth album.
But I got to do all the metal album review
Yes, yeah,
paper.
yeah,
There were others, but
yeah.
they let me do the minority.
Sure. All right. You have this at number 10. I'm going to go to mine. So my number 2 from your number 10 is Bad Brains Eye Against Eye.
All right.
So like that was my gateway drug into Bad Brains. I will fess this up. This is definitely more of a now pick than a then pick. I was with you probably, Kevin, when we were first listening to this in 89, 90, as opposed to, and it was a gateway into all of that great, shit that we were exposed to before grunge really kind of broke and was big. And I still listen to this album constantly. I think it's just a fantastic album. And we even see, like, it's kind of amazing. We see this one artist. If you ever saw that Rockstar Supernova contest where Tommy Lee, and I can't remember, it was a couple other people that were supposed to be a super group, but Tommy Lee's the only one I remember. They were auditioning people to be the lead vocalist. And we saw this cabaret singer from Portland, Oregon. Storm Large is her name. My girlfriend Ashley is like totally in love with. But like, she covers Sacred Love to this day, which is in a cabaret environment, which is kind of bizarre to see. It's not that Sacred Love is upbeat hardcore, but when I hear a song like that, and then I hear a band that's more current like Turnstile, and then I hear the hardcore audience react against some of the songs they do, well, Bad Brains never really did everything all hardcore all the time. And that song is a specific example of something where they stepped outside of their box and made something amazing.
Right. Well, this is the Virginia Tech radio station. This is the stuff that they're like, oh, you like metal? You should check this out.
Exactly.
And that kind of stuff. So, I mean, definitely got exposed to some things that were bubbling up under the surface, you know, 88, 89-ish.
Sure. And then my number 1, John, if you want to bounce this, we totally agree on number 1, which I'm a little surprised about. I'm not overly surprised about that. I thought Megadeth was going to take it. Because this, I mean, it might be, I mean, arguably
it's the greatest, I'll say.
Easily, we both agreed when we did the Metallica bottoms. Like, this is the best Metallica album.
I would say this is the greatest metal album of all time.
Oh, wow, that's huge. Over Rust in Peace?
Yeah, maybe.
Damn.
I mean,
You record that too? Like, are you okay?
I'm fine. Something in the coffee.
Right?
Does he like Mariah Carey?
Fuck no.
I think you're right, Kevin, because we've had a lot of bands in here and we've interviewed a lot of bands. We talk about a lot of influences. Whether the
Doesn't
thrash-
mean I like them more than Megadeth, though.
I know that. Oh, believe me, I know that. But everybody agrees on Metallica and specifically Master of Puppets. Daniel Ruin had this when we did a bottoms up with him, and Age of Ruin were in here, where he had this a little bit lower than number one.
Yeah.
But I think, like, you're right. Like,
It was also the last great Metallica album.
really you wouldn't put Injustice after this as a great Metallica album?
I think Metallica, as a thrash band, died with Cliff Burton.
Okay. All right. You don't think Cliff Burton had influence on Injustice, though?
I think he probably had some writing influences on it for
Right,
sure,
right.
but I don't know that record. Clearly, the bass sound didn't
that's what I
sound
mean.
the same.
It's almost like, was that a psychological piece to it that, you had this bassist that was, and I agree with you, you definitely hear a difference in their sound without him, but I
Right.
also kind of still hear it in Injustice. So if you kind of like how much of that
What
was
you can hear of the
affecting
bass.
them. Right, exactly.
What Lars allowed you to hear. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some tunes in there, that you can hear.
Harvester of Sorrow,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
Dyer's Eve.
Blackened.
Yeah.
Right. Like I would go to Blackened as a Cliff Burton feel.
Yeah. No, I imagine that a lot of those tracks were in the hopper.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And not fully cooked, right? So
Right.
they embellished as best they could. But I agree with you. Metallica really changed after this album, moving into Injustice, and just maybe being a transitional album. Because a lot of people, I feel like what you just brought up as the greatest metal album, they would arguably say it would be the Black Album. That's where I kind of go too. That's a hard rock album,
Yeah.
right? And it was a popular hard rock album. That's kind of where I go with that too. But yeah,
Right. No.
yeah. I will also give homage in like an old story way to our dear friend Damon Schaefer, because I hated this album in 1986. I hated it. Like I remember, because I was so down that glam road, and this was my intro to thrash. And he just kept playing it. And then one day I was like, I love that album. That album's a beast of an album. Right. Beautiful riff.
I mean,
Beautiful.
Can give Damon credit for a few things because he was on the forefront with Armored Saint too.
Yes,
And
exactly,
we
yes.
used to give him shit nonstop
Yes,
about
yeah.
that band sucks. And now it's like, you were right. You were 100% right on that.
Well, then, like you're saying, in terms of the greatest metal album too, we ran around with a lot of skate rats that were just listening to a lot of punk and hardcore, and we're now then in turn turning around and buying this album, and that just didn't happen in our crew. That happened more widespread. Somehow
Sure.
they had a broad appeal to the rebellious, disaffected youth. And that's where thrash really rooted.
Right.
Was in this album.
Well, and that certainly led to a lot of the crossover between some of the hardcore and thrash bands.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to see, the last time we saw Metallica as a treat, we got to see Leper Messiah.
I know.
Right, live off of this album, which I don't think that I've never seen that live.
I think I looked it up. I think we talked about this, and I can't remember. I think they've only ever played it 3 or 4 times live.
Yes, yeah.
So, that was awesome. It's like, I cannot believe they're playing this song right now.
Right.
And then it just stuck with me for a day or so. And
Right.
I had to look it up.
Right.
I was able to go back on setlist.fm and pulled up forget how I searched it, but I was able to search. I think you could search by song.
Right.
And it only showed 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Pretty fucking cool.
So I just went to Grok to see what its top 5 would be.
Oh,
and
1986. Did you go hard rock or metal?
I did metal thrash.
Oh, okay.
In 86
in
or
86.
Okay.
So 5, which I don't know some of these. Dark Angel, Darkness,
Yeah,
Descends.
that's on my
Is that your
honorable mention list.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Creator, Pleasure to Kill.
Yep, that's their first.
Megadeth, Peace Sells, but who's buying? Slayer, Rain and Blood. And then I think everybody's on the same page. Metallica, Master of Puppets.
Yes. Yeah. It was the gateway drug into thrash for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know half of these. Like, I'm like Nuclear Assault, Game Over.
Yep.
Kevin and I have a bit of a legendary road trip story about going to see Nuclear Assault.
Flotsam,
Like in
Jetsam?
Wilmington or something.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
That was Jason Newkid's band. Before he joined Metallica.
Yeah.
Destruction, Eternal Devastation.
Yeah. That's almost like prog thrash, Flotsam and Jetsam. Like, you know, like they had a different bend on their sound, which was different than the others. Yeah. So, all right, so let's talk about more of your honorable mentions, Kevin. I want to hear these.
Well, there are great things. Metal Church, The Dark.
Yep.
That was a great first album. We talked about this last year when we did the 85. Rough Cut.
Yes.
Wants You.
Yes.
Their second release came out in 86.
That is on my list of honorable mentions too.
Yep. Whiplash Smile. Billy Idol.
Yes. Oh, I didn't have that, but that is a good call.
Yep. Turbo.
I had
Came
that
out
on
in
my-
86.
yes, I had that on my list, and I had to axe it at one point.
And then, you know,
I'm surprised that, like, because Turbo is controversial for Judas Priest. I love that
know.
album. Like,
Yeah.
I'm one of the people that like it, and a lot of people don't.
yeah, I liked it. Orgasmatron.
It was on my list too.
And good thing the boss is in here because Stand Tall and Rage for Order
All right.
also came out in 86.
Well, my other anything that I don't have that or that you just mentioned that I had was Rats Dancing Undercover.
Yep. And I have that as
Okay,
well.
all right, yeah, I thought that was a great album
Yep.
too. Little slip of the lip.
Final Countdown.
But that's the song. It's like a night we did.
That's I'm like, it's one song. QR3. Which was
That's right.
Had a couple good tunes on it, but
Paul Shortino.
no, that was the next one. Just
okay.
Quiet Riot.
Okay, I got you. Yes,
And that's what
right,
I
right.
had. I went back to that because I was like, wait a minute. They released the Rough Cut album and the Quiet Riot. And
Right.
That was the last one with, I think. Oh no, Frankie Banali was with them.
Sure.
But yeah, the last one with Kevin Dubrow before they brought him back.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good list, man. It was good shit
a
in
great year.
1986. I know.
A lot of money spent at Waxy Maxie's.
If the very least, we educated John on some great thrash albums. And like, I guess being us, we leaned more towards thrash than we did glam in this conversation.
I think so.
I think so.
I blame it on the fact that this is my birth year. So
Oh, I love that. Yeah, nice.
There was no Dokken released in 86, though.
No, there was not any Dokken. All right, John, I'm going to look up. I don't have Grok, but I'm going to look up on Chat GPT. We're doing an FNAI segment. I'm going to go glam albums. And by the way, like, we're going with glam, not hair metal.
okay.
That's the right way to say it. I'm a diehard with that one. I don't like hair metal.
Okay.
Okay.
Hair metal kind of.
You mean work on AI, Mariah Carey, glam metal? all the way?
While you're looking this up, we can pump a couple of shows that have been announced coming up to the Salisbury Center.
All right.
So we got on April the 2nd, Thunderstruck will be here, AC/DC tribute band.
Love it.
April 4th.
They've been here before. They're great.
Yep, they're a
Yeah.
great band.
When is that?
April 2nd.
April 2nd. Okay.
April 4th is the reschedule of Retro Rock Revival in Ethanol.
That's right. I know.
we got
great conversation.
Snowed
with
Out.
All of those folks.
April 18th, another, should be an interesting, Priest Unleashed. Judas Priest tribute band. May 16th,
Have you seen
Urgent.
them?
Have-
Priest
No,
Unleashed?
I have
No.
not. I've heard.
Fucking phenomenal.
That's what
Yeah.
I've heard.
Fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Anybody that can sing Halford and make it sound like Halford is.
Right. Ripper.
May 16th, Urgent, Foreigner tribute band. And then the grand finale on August the 1st, we have the M72 tribute with Metallica, Pantera, and Limp Bizkit tributes
Excellent.
with a in the round stage in the
Excellent.
Salisbury Center and a
it.
snake pit.
Love it. Yeah.
All tickets on sale. Go to getwild.com and come see some live music.
All right. Top 5 glam metal albums 1986. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In, Cinderella Night Songs, Wasp, Inside the Electric Circus.
Oh, that one is also, I forgot about that one.
Kiss Asylum. Would you call Kiss glam?
Not at that point.
Right? Exactly. Honorable mentions to Rat Dancing Undercover, ChatGPT must have heard me, David Lee Roth, Eat 'em and Smile, Crocus, Change of Address. Would you call them glam?
They kind of dress glam. And that's what I was going to say about, what was the bottom of the list after Wasp?
Oh, Kiss.
Kiss. Asylum, they were very glammy in their dress.
Neon. It was they were like neon all the time in that album. Yeah. Yeah.
Your tears are
night.
falling. Yeah.
And I went to all night. You went to Tears Falling. All right.
Okay.
Great shows. Great stuff.
We try one more thing.
Yeah.
So since you have ChatGPT open,
Uh-huh.
type in there, describe me based off of what you know by 3 album.
Describe me, like just the word me?
Based off, because it everything you've ever typed in, I don't know how much you use.
Not much.
But let's see what it says your 3 albums would be for your taste.
All right. Describe me from what you know.
Probably going to search
My top 3
Albums that describe me.
albums. All right. Second. I just miscarried the
Sorry,
dot the I.
Train wreck the show here.
No, I like it. I just had, it's the high pressure of typing, touch typing. All right, it's doing its thing. Ooh. So it just said, okay, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In, and Cinderella Night Songs.
Need a few more ChatGPT searches. I thought it would like skim your music
Yeah.
files.
Maybe I didn't give it permission. Maybe I said new. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Good times. Good albums to listen to. We didn't talk. Sometimes we talk songs off albums. We just didn't do that this time.
Yeah,
around.
a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, but we did talk songs like along the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But certainly, hit us up on our socials. Let us know, are we wrong
Right.
or what you like?
Love it. All right. See you in a couple weeks.
See ya.